welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal.
Mandio.
And we are KAMMA, about to talk about our final predictions, thoughts, and face-offs for UFC Fight Night London. Obviously, the main event is going to be uh, Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. But we're going to talk about the prelims right now. Just finished watching the face-offs, man. It was really good, and I can't wait to get into it. So let's talk about the first fight of the prelims with Guram Kutateladze versus Cowboy Fernandez. So, Andy O, any changes, any thoughts here?
No, man, my pick is still going to be Kutaladze here. He's not my favorite fighter, but I think he has more tools to put away Fernandez here, or at least to get the win. His striking is pretty good, probably not as good as a kickboxer as Fernandez, but he does have that grappling in his back pocket. He's getting better at it, and I think he's going to use it in this fight here because Fernandez has a lot of power, so he has to be careful.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely sticking to Guram Kutateladze. Now, in topology, it said that Guram was supposed to be 5'11 and Cowboy 5'9. We could see that it's pretty much the same height. If even Cowboy a slight tiny bit taller there, even. So I'm not sure if it's the shoes or whatever, but definitely around the same height. Man, does Kuta Taladze look absolutely in phenomenal shape, man. This guy is super, super ripped. I've never seen anybody as ripped as this guy. All the muscles are showing. His abs are showing like crazy. This guy must have like a 1% body fat or something. Like he is in ripped condition, like super physical, amazing shape. Cowie is a little bit thicker, a little bit, obviously not as ripped as Guram, but he's also in decent shape. Kind of noticed that Kaiway was a little skinny too, a little bit, but Guram, he has a bit more muscles and more size on him there. So I like Guram Kutaladze here. For sure, he looks really good. And this face-off here, you can see that they're both looking at each other pretty seriously. Guram was looking very, very serious, man. I like him to win by knockout or decision here on Cowboy Fernandez. Cowboy is still a bit tricky, though, so you never know, but I think Guram's going to get this one. So we're still in agreement with the first fight. Nice. All right, let's move on up to the next fight here. All right, so we got Nathan Fletcher against Kaulan Lufran. So for this one here, pretty much not much change is going on in this one, man. I definitely still got to stick to Nathan Fletcher. You can see the height advantage here for Nathan Fletcher. He's a bit taller than Kaulan Lufran. You can see that Kaulan Lufran is the bigger guy, though, as far as muscles are concerned. He's a big bodybuilder type guy. He looks pretty big. So he is going to be the bigger guy, obviously, in this one. I mean, bigger as far as muscles. But Nathan Fletcher is a taller guy, and he's a bit larger. And you know, he's also in very, very good shape. He's got muscles. He's ripped and everything too. But he's just a bit leaner than Kaulan Lufran. So I think that by him being just a little bit leaner, less muscular, he's going to be able to be like quicker and just flow a little bit better, especially on the ground. I think he's going to move better on the ground with the grappling. When these guys first fought, I liked the way he looked. When they were grappling, he was getting on top most of the time. He had control time more than Kaulan Lufran. He was very good at scrambling and getting reversals when Lufran would try to be on top. So I like Nathan Fletcher to win in his hometown here by submission or decision.
Yeah, I don't like the I don't think Lauren made enough improvements with his striking to be able to get the better of Fletcher, considering that Fletcher is the better wrestler. And I think, again, he's going to be in better position once he gets him down. The ground game's going to get to Kalen here, and I think he's going to grind him out for a decision.
Nice. All right. So we're in agreement still with this one. Let's get to the next fight now. All right. So here we got Shauna Bannon against Pooja Tomar here.
All right, here we got our first ladies fight. I'm still going to be sticking with Shauna Bannon here. As here you can see, Pooja Tomar isn't like 4'3". They're actually almost the same size here. You can't really tell what shape either of them are in, but I think despite what they're wearing, you can kind of see that Shauna Bannon is in better physical condition, looks more athletic in there. Her striking is awful, but I think that that 6 inch reach advantage is still going to enable her to make more contact. She does have more volume, and I think she'll get a decision win here against Pooja.
In
That's
this picture, Shauna Bannon is a bit is kind of leaning forward too, in towards her. So she is leaning forward. If she stands up straight, and Pooja stands up straight, you can see that is she is significantly taller because she is leaning right now in this picture. I remember watching this in the face-offs when she leaned right in there. So she is significantly taller. Maybe not
I
six
mean.
inches taller like they were saying here, but she's at least a couple inches taller, I would think. But the 6 inch reach advantage for sure. Now, we cannot see the physical shape here because they're being covered right now. But I saw the face-offs, and Pooja looks okay. She's a bit thicker. She's not very like ripped or muscular at all. She's a little chunky. Pooja, she's a little chunky, but like not fat or anything like that. She's just a little bit chunky and thicker than Shauna Bannon. Shauna Bannon is the one that's in the better physical condition, I find. She's more ripped, more muscular, more toned, and looks more athletic. And I think she's going to be faster. I think she's going to be better. I think she's going to be the better striker in this one. Pooja tends to throw some very low level weird strikes, a lot of like weird kicks and stuff that she likes to throw. But I think Shauna Bannon will be able to keep that distance and just throw nice jabs and nice punches at her and frustrate her with the punches, hit her in the face a couple of times and make it difficult for Pooja to get in. I think that Pooja's reach disadvantage is not going to help her when she's trying to throw punches. So,
Yeah,
Shauna,
I don't know. I don't know how nice it's gonna look, but as long as she throws something.
yeah, Shauna Bannon's going to be the one I think that's going to throw the more punches out of the two girls here. Plus, like I said, the UFC experience there against Alice Ardalian and against Bruna Brazil is going to help her when Pooja just faced somebody who was really low level, who was 14-7, really not very good at all. Not to say that Alice Ardalian was very good, but much better than Rayanne Amanda there. So I like Shauna Bannon to get the win here. I say KO or decision. So no changes there. Me and NDO still in agreement. Let's move on up to the next fight here. All right, we got Chris Duncan and Pulayev here. Who you got here, NDO?
Yeah, I'm gonna be sticking with Christian Duncan here because I think also along with what I said last time, Puliev is also slow, so I don't think that's going to help him get the takedowns that he's going to need to get his ground game going. This I think, this I think is a must-win fight for Christian Duncan, considering he lost last time in the way he did. I know it was against RoboCop, but I don't think he looked that good in that fight. Here you can see they both look pretty much in the same shape to me, but you can see that Pulayev does have that couple inches of height there, through like 3 inches height advantage, I would say. Either way, yeah, I think this is a spot for Duncan at home. So give me by knockout or decision for Duncan.
Yeah. Pulayev is supposed to be 6'4". Duncan at 6'2". That's pretty accurate here. You can see that Pulayev is Andre Pulayev is much taller there, so he's got that. But like I mentioned, several times about this fight, that it's just levels of difference between the competition that these two guys fought here. Physicality wise, Andre is much skinnier and more ripped than Christian Leroy Duncan. Leroy Duncan, you can see, is a bit more muscular and thicker than Andre Pulayev. But again, Christian Leroy Duncan, he's just fought so many good fighters in the UFC. Like I said, RoboCop, Claudio Ribeiro, Dennis Tululin, Armin Petrosian, Dusko Todorovic. I mean, these are guys that are so much better than the fighters that Andre Pulayev fought in the lower level events. Like, it's not even comparable there. So yeah, I definitely like Christian Leroy Duncan to get the win here, man. And I say he wins by knockout or decision as well here in this one. All right, we're still in agreement here with this one. Let's move on up to the next one here. We got Marcin Tybura versus McParkin. So yeah, I was right. They weighed in. McParkin weighed in at 260, and Tybura weighed in at 250. So it's a 10-pound difference here for these guys. And McParkin actually looked in really good shape, man. He came out. He's not fat. He's just a big motherfucker, man. He just came out there. He's fat. He's big. He's like his chest is pretty flat. His stomach is pretty flat. He looks in good shape, man. He's just a bigger, heavier guy at 260. Tybura came out though looking really not good. Like I thought he looked flabby. I thought he looked fat. His stomach was jiggling a bit as he was walking up to the podium. He's got some tits. I really don't think that Tybura looks really that good at all. As far as physicality, I think he's out of shape. I think Parkin's going to be in better shape, move around quicker, move around better, and I'm going to see him getting away from Tybura faster in the cage now that it's a bigger cage. He's going to have time to move away, move around, not get caught in a clinch, and not give a chance for Tybura to get his takedowns. If McParkin keeps this on the feet, I think he has a good chance to win here just by keeping staying on the feet, getting his nice punches in and his strikes in, and being the quicker guy, being in better shape, I find. So I'm going with McParkin here. Like what I'm seeing, KO or decision for me.
Yeah, I got to go with the Irish Ogre here. I think it's still a very tough fight to call. It could go either way. I didn't think Tabura looked that terrible in there. I thought, he looked all right and for his age and everything. But yeah, I got to go with the Irish Ogre. Sorry, the English Ogre here at home. He looked good to me also, and I think he will be faster than Tabura in there. Hopefully he's going to get his striking going and not even try to mess around in the clinch if he can avoid it. Because you don't want to give Tabura any path if you're Parkin here. So, and I think it's going to be also a big win for Parkin to get against a name like Tabura.
Exactly, man. If this fight goes to the decision here, Parkin for sure will get his hands raised here. But Tybura is very dangerous with his submission skills and knockout power. So Parkin has to be careful not to get taken down. Keep this fight standing. Use his boxing skills and his punching skills, and his leg kicks to slow down Tybura from getting in too close to possibly shoot for a takedown. So yeah, McParkin should get the win here. I like him here. All right, so we're in agreement still with this one. Let's get to the next one here, which is Lonair Kavanaugh versus Felipe dos Santos. So for this one here, man, definitely sticking with my boy Felipe dos Santos, the guy who actually fought in the UFC, the guy who's actually taller, as you can see here in this picture. Physicality-wise, Kavanaugh looks great. Felipe dos Santos looks great. Both of these guys very similar shape. They're both ripped, both very, very muscular and in great shape, both of these guys. So not much of an advantage physicality-wise for any of these two, except for the height advantage here for Felipe dos Santos, which I really like. And also the reach advantage for Felipe dos Santos, that 3-inch reach advantage I think is going to come into play. I like the fact that Felipe is going to be able to keep his distance on Lonair. Lonair is going to come in charging quickly like a rookie and try to come in there and throw some wild punches and go crazy. And Felipe, I have a feeling, is going to counter, get out of the way, and fight a really good fight. With more experience in the UFC, I think he does better. I think this is a step up in competition for Lonair. I mean, when we talk about the fights against Andre Lima, Victor Altamirano, and Manel Kape, I think that those three guys are all better than Lonair Kavanaugh, in my opinion. Maybe not Victor Altamirano, but Manel Kape and Andre Lima, absolutely for sure. And, Felipe was able to do pretty well in there. Like you said in the early predictions, he even won a round on Manel Kape. I think it was the first round you had said. So, man, I can't believe it's such a wide line. I like Felipe dos Santos to come in here and get the win. I have Felipe winning by, you know what? I just have him winning straight here. There's too many ways for him to win. If I'm going to call a way of winning, I'm going to have to go with a knockout or submission. I'm going to say
All one way.
If it's going to be one way, man, I think if he gets the fight to the ground, though, I think he could latch in a sub. So I'll call submission. But KO or submission is the way to go here for this one. I think he gets a finish.
Yeah, the line is definitely too wide on this one for the chances of Dos Santos winning the fight here. I see Dos Santos getting hit a lot. I hope he brought his punching bag face on. It's a good thing he's pretty tough because what Lonair does good, he's very darting in there. He's going to dart in there very quickly. He's faster than Dos Santos, and he's going to light him up with some combos. So hopefully he's going to be able to withstand that. Dos Santos is hopefully clinch up with him, try to hold on to Kavanaugh earlier in the fight, damage him up a little bit, try to get him down. Because again, we don't know how good Kavanaugh's ground game is down there at all. And the longer the fight goes, I think the more it's going to favor Dos Santos. Kavanaugh's going to realize this guy's really tough to put away. And yeah, I think he winds up also with a decision or sub.
Yeah, and Felipe dos Santos, when in the face-offs, he was like leaning into him and getting close to him and looking, sizing him up. He just looks like the bigger guy too. Look at his back there. You can see in this photo. He just looks like he's wider and bigger than Kavanaugh here. So
Yeah, maybe it would be a good idea for Kavanaugh to maybe even drop a weight class, if
yeah,
that were possible, because it's as low as it goes right here.
yeah, seriously. All right, man. So we're in agreement still with Felipe dos Santos. This is looking good to continue what we had on Tuesday. I think we're going to agree on all the fights. Let's get to the main event of the prelims. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe. Let's get help us out in the channel here. It does a lot for us, man, if you like and subscribe.
And it's free and easy.
Exactly. So we got the main event for the prelims. Jai Herbert and Chris Padilla here, Andy O.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Chris Padilla. It's not the most confident of picks because there's a way he can lose this fight is if he gives Herbert the room he needs and wants to be his most successful. Padilla sometimes didn't do that. Sometimes didn't want to get in there and use his strengths like in close, like his amazing elbows. So I think he's gonna do that because his team has to know that he's got to get in there more and muck it up and try to get Herbert down. If he doesn't, I think Herbert will piece him up from the outside, get those kicks going, and even work a timely takedown himself to wear out Padilla, because Herbert can do that too. But man, if Padilla follows plan, I think he's gonna either get a decision or a sub on Herbert here.
All right, man. So I'm in agreement with you here. I like Chris Padilla. Both of these guys are in good shape. Jai Herbert is much skinnier though and much more ripped. Chris Padilla is still ripped too, but Herbert a little bit more. But he's very skinny, Herbert. I find, man, like very bony. Chris Padilla is definitely the bigger guy, the more muscular guy and thicker guy. Obviously, you can see the height advantage here for Jai Herbert. If you look closely at Jai Herbert's face there on his eye there, it looks like he has a black eye almost. Looks like he in sparring might have got clipped a couple of times there. He does bruise up pretty fast. I can see Chris Padilla getting in close though. I think he's going to be able to get close enough to land those elbows and punches and those those powerful strikes that he likes to do. And I just love the grappling advantage for Chris Padilla, man. He's going to be able to take down Jai Herbert, work his ground game. And maybe even get a submission. I could see something like that happening for Chris Padilla. Jai Herbert, he lost a couple of fights that he could have won. I mean, I guess it was against good competition. I mean, Ilya Tapuria, of course, that knockout, we can't knock him on that really too much. But
And he almost knocked out Tapuria on that one.
true, and but the fight against Faraziem there, he could have did a little better in that fight. I thought he got beaten up, and Faraziem did take him down. Getting the win over Rolando Bedoya and Kyle Nelson, two average guys, not that great. Chris Padilla, that knockout against Rong Zhu was very very good. The submission against James Lontop too in his UFC debut. So he's just been getting finishes right off the bat coming into the UFC. So I can see him finishing off Jai Herbert as well. I got KO or submission here for Chris Padilla, man. So there you have it, folks. Me and Andy O still in agreement after the face-offs on all of the fights in the prelims. Let's hope it continues the same for the main card. Everyone like and subscribe, and stay tuned. Coming up next, the main card.